Never have I ever been to couples therapy.
We've never been to couples therapy.
We've never been in couples therapy.
We in couples therapy right now.
Oh, no,
No.
okay. Does this count? Does this count? Does this count? We had to go to, before we both Catholics, we had to go to little classes.
Marital counseling.
Yeah, does that count?
You can make it count, but I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's a little different.
I truly believe if you cannot talk to your partner and work something out, ain't nobody else gonna help you work it out. I don't know if that's.
I will say, because I want to hear what the Henrys have to say, because your therapist isn't necessarily helping you work it out, but creating a space. And there's a lot of things that therapists can do that are very unique and tailored to specific couples and to different things that are happening. Some people go because maybe they have a sick child, or maybe there's one person in the relationship has lost a parent and now there's some anxiety. Like, there's a lot of things that can happen in a relationship that a professional can be helpful with. But I want to hear the Henry's experience. What y'all got?
So I don't know. I don't remember the reason we initially reached out to find a couples therapist. Do you remember the reason?
There's a lot of reasons.
Well, when we first started couples therapy, our therapist said, you guys are not a high conflict couple.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I'm here type situation. And
we had trouble communicating.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So it was, I communicate a lot verbally.
Yes.
Yvette likes to write and think and settle. So I didn't already start it and finish the argument before she said anything. And you know what I'm saying? And I've been talking, trying to like paint it from this direction and show her this analogy and that analogy. And she's kind of like, yeah, but that's not how I feel. You know what I mean? And so the therapist has I think allowed her to see the inside of like when I'm trying to communicate, and that when I make decisions or when I say things, I'm not necessarily trying to harm her, but I may be speaking a little bit sharply. You know what I'm saying?
But I also feel like, because
go back in the room.
Baby.
Take the scissors away from the baby. Sorry, I'll be back.
Keep the scissors away from the baby. Go get them.
Definitely take the scissors away.
I told y'all it was likely that they could make an appearance. Okay.
So sorry.
Did y'all get the scissors away from the baby?
Yeah.
They always go for the most dangerous things. I'm like, there's so many fun things in this room. Why are you going for the rusty nail that was found under the carpet in the corner? Like, how'd you find that?
Yeah. So for me, because Glen is so well spoken, and sometimes like Glen processes things externally or verbally, versus me, I need time to sit with it and process it, write about it, think about it, take a walk in nature with it, whatever. And so for me, like Ali said, is our therapist does create a space for me to actually kind of speak in the moment and be able to actually express to Glen what I mean, because Glen takes me so literally sometimes that it's like, dang, I can't get those words back, but now he's got them.
Yeah.
And our therapist helps to interpret, or he helps us to like see the big picture, I feel like.
Yeah. And here's a great example. Yvette says, hey, I want to do such and such. In my brain, I'm like, such and such will make Yvette happy. I'm going to do such and such so that she's happy. I go do such and such, and I bring it back to her. And she's like, I was just talking. And I'm like, why would you just say something? You know what I mean? Like, I thought you were telling me to do something.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I want like a pat on the back because I did such a good job. And she's kind of like, I wasn't asking you to do it. I just was saying it would be nice. And I'm like, oh no. So then we're having this conflict to where like, I'm trying to win through like my own like trauma growing up as a child with my own mother. Like, I'm trying to like gain some type of like love with my wife by performing for her, and she's not asking me to do those things. So it's like she has her own therapist. I need my own therapist, but we also need couples therapy. So it has been something that has been really good for us, because I feel like she has a space and time to kind of just say, hey, this is what I'm trying to communicate. And the therapist says, okay, when she says that, we know she's not saying anything malicious. She's just saying that, you know, she wants you to process a little bit slower. You know what I mean?
And and the reason I brought up the beginning of our therapy session is because we started it and we weren't necessarily high conflict.
Mm-hmm.
But then recently we did just reach a moment in our marriage that was kind of very much so high conflict.
Yeah.
And because we had already built a foundation or relationship with this therapist, we were then able to go to him with our high conflict issue and work it out. And so now I am a firm believer in having a therapist, and if you're married or not or whatever, because I feel like you just nice.
Never know when it's going
to
sneak up on you.
And it's nice to have somebody on call that you have already met with and you already have a relationship with. So it's like, oh, we got an issue.
Yeah.
And I think you also brought up a really good point that our partner becomes, in a way, our new caregiver.
Yeah.
This is the person who's now caring for us, holding our heart, holding our vulnerability, caring for our body, mind, spirit. And if we have unresolved issues or anything from childhood with our caregiver, whoever was the person who took care of us, we have similar patterns with the person who's now our caregiver. And so it is important to, at different stages in our life too, because things can crop up. And like there's some evidence to show that if you've had a trauma at a specific age, then when your kids turn that age, it might trigger some traumatic experiences for you.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And so it's important to, so it's important for you because I think it was Kenny that had said, like, you learn so much from your kids, right? Because you see a big reflection of yourself and a mirror of a lot of your own behavior, some of the behaviors that you love and some of that you don't love. And so it can stir up some things for yourself. And so it is always great to have somebody. So even if maybe you're not actively going to therapy, knowing maybe someone you could reach out to if you did need it. That's just my little 10 cents or whatever. But I'm dropping.
Or you can get some saran wrap when you start arguing and wrap the whole bed up, get a bunch of baby oil, put it all on the thing and just run like a slide and just wrestle. I
read a really good article on that and you're right. No, I love that. That's great.
What is happening?
I'm down. Well, okay. So nearly 50% of married couples have gone to marriage counseling. And people who participate in couples counseling participate for an average of 12 sessions, with 66% of participants improving in 20 sessions or less.
Hey, that's awesome.